Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with
Here now, in this game, one goal, one team. Fight for that possession, gotta act fast. Another shot, another pass. The city comes to life and they got something to say. Come on, let's go. I feel devotion.
Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to the beautiful Greek capital of Athens, where you join us at the OAKA, the formidable home venue of Panathinaikos OPAP Athens, returning or playing in this fixture in this venue for the first time this season. And the visitors of Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul made a winning start to the campaign last time out with a hard-fought victory. They'll be looking to extend their winning start at the expense of tonight's hosts. It's a frequently contested rivalry where the home team holds sway. Sasa Djordjevic knows what a formidable venue this is to play in.
They are a team who knows how to play basketball. They run the floor really well. I know the fans are supporting the team in their way. So this is one of the hardest courts in Europe, and it still is. So it's going to be a really tough physical game.
So Sasa Djordjevic under no illusions as to what lies in store for his 1-0 Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul squad. As for Panathinaikos OPAP Athens, well, they're looking to bounce back after conceding their season opener on the road against the EuroLeague debutants AS Monaco. Coach Dimitris Priftis looking to playing in front of his home fans.
We know that our opponent is a strong team. They have a complete roster with a lot of foreigners, good players, experienced. But I think if we show up with our good version, we have possibilities.
So in round 2 action of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague is Panathinaikos OPAP Athens hosting Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. Really is a magnificent venue in which to play basketball, and you can see at the top of the shot there the number of banners hanging from the rafters. This one of 4 fixtures taking place across the continent tonight. They're already underway in Lithuania, where Žalgiris Kaunas are hosting Zenit St. Petersburg. Tip-off in Tel Aviv just a few minutes after this one, and then Bayern Munich round out tonight's fixtures as they welcome FC Barcelona to the Audi Dome. And that's how things stand. Barcelona with that blowout victory in round 1 action over Alba Berlin. 32 points, that point spread putting them top of the leaderboard. But Fenerbahce joining them in that regard as well. But you see their plus minus only 4 after they prevailed in a tight victory in their season opener. On the Nemanja Nedovic, no doubt, looking forward to playing in front of his home fans, as will be the entire squad. As we take a look at the team comparison. Both teams towards the bottom in terms of points scored in their season openers. But Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul number 1 in blocks, Panathinaikos number 2 in blocks. See on those numbers there, and Panathinaikos, one of the best rebounding teams in the league, number 1 on the offensive boards in their season opener, where they hauled in 17 offensive rebounds. Fenerbahce, the league leaders in steals as well. So teams with different strengths in different areas of the floor. Again, numbers, X's and O's can often go out of the window. As we take a look at Jan Vesely, the 2018-19 regular season MVP, comes into this game equal number 10 in steals after bagging 3 of them in round 1. Currently tied at 250 all-time in terms of takeaways with Ioannis Papapetrou. If he's as active in the passing lanes again, he could well take sole possession of 10th place. Well, Devin Booker made a bright start in his first outing in a Fenerbahce jersey, kept the statisticians busy with a box score of 8 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals and 2 blocks, active all over the court. And in his post-game interview, he said he can do even better. So look for him to build on his energetic debut here in round 2. So Okoro White, one of the players who made his EuroLeague debut for Panathinaikos in the round 1 fixture, one of 4 EuroLeague debutants for the home side. Georgios Papagiannis, an experienced figure and an imposing interior presence for one of the biggest, most physical teams in the league. He hauled in 11 rebounds in the season opener last week, including 4 at the offensive end, securing valuable extra possessions for his team. He was also the league's 2nd leading shot blocker last campaign. As for Nemanja Nedovic, well, he'll be looking to bounce back after a tough night at the office in the season opener. The league's 5th leading scorer last campaign was held scoreless at Monaco, 0 of 7 from the field, including missing all 4 of his 3-point attempts. Nedovic hit a career-high 7 triples in Panathinaikos' home win over Fenerbahce last season. Expect a terrific response from him. And how about the head-to-head at the forward position? 2 players who led their teams in scoring in round 1, Deshaun Pierre and Ioannis Papapetrou, both men capable of taking it to the rack with authority and pulling up from the perimeter. What a matchup we have at the forward position in store tonight. Well, we saw from the number of road wins posted as we take a look at the Fenerbahce roster, but the number of road wins posted when fixtures were played behind closed doors last season, just how valuable a home supporting crowd can be. Panathinaikos possessed vocal, energetic support, knowledgeable basketball fans. How difficult will they look to make life for the visitors? Well, Kendrick Perry, he too had a difficult debut, held scoreless in his EuroLeague bout. So the backcourt of he and Nemanja Nedovic not firing last weekend. And again, he would have been working his tail off in practice and looking to bounce back effectively tonight. First home game for Panathinaikos this campaign, and they'll be keen to make a favorable impression with the fans and send a message to the rest of the league that the OAKA is the fortress this campaign that it has traditionally been. Of course, Fenerbahce will have something to say about that as they are introduced to the spectators in attendance at the OAKA here now, and listen to the reception that they are receiving. They know that they are on away turf and very much in enemy territory. And now for the introduction of the home team. So the head coach is exchanging handshakes and pennants at half court. Sasa Djordjevic and Dimitris Priftis going head to head, meeting for the first time as EuroLeague head coaches. Dimitris headed by Miguel Angel Perez, he the crew chief of the three wise men taking charge of this game. Well, these sides meeting for the 31st time since the turn of the century tonight. It's home teams that have held sway in this frequently contested rivalry. Home teams have won 7 of the last 8 contests between these two sides. And Panathinaikos has won the last 2 home games in this rivalry, including 82-68 last season, buying 28 points from Nemanja Nedovic, who hit a career-high 7 3-pointers in that particular fixture. No doubt they're looking to demonstrate a similar hot hand tonight, going 0 from the field in the season opener. Ioannis Papapetrou, Panathinaikos team captain, just letting those know, Cora White, Jahiva Floyd, Daryl Macon Jr., what it means to play in front of these fans that hear what their expectations are. Of course, they'll been made keenly aware of that, but just a final reminder, no doubt, from the club skipper as we await the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague anthem. So pre-game handshakes being exchanged between the starting fives and the officials. And how will the comforts of home cooking prepare Panathinaikos for this, their season opener on home court? They shot a paltry 20% from downtown in their round 1 defeat in Monaco. I suppose from their perspective, the good news is that Fenerbahce weren't much better from long range, just 22% from beyond the arc. Panathinaikos will be far more familiar with the lighting and the sight lines here on home court. Will they find a range from deep tonight? So the opening tip is up and it is controlled by the home team, and just listen to the ovation that receives. Buckle up and enjoy the ride as Panathinaikos and Fenerbahce face off in this round 2 fixture in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague regular season action. So we've got a violation 3 seconds in the key. Jahiva Floyd camping out beneath the bucket. Turnover on the first trip down the floor for the home team. Panathinaikos committed just 8 turnovers in their round 1 defeat. So they took care of the basketball well. We're looking to replicate that tonight, but an inauspicious start, and that's terrific defensive play from Howard Saint-Rose. Remember, he was 4th in the league last season with 1.4 steals per game, and he secures an extra possession for his team there by deflecting it off Marial Sheok. So each team starting their half-court offense with a turnover, cancelling one another out effectively as Macon rotates it to Saint-Rose, flat pass just beyond the hand of Henry. Deep three-pointer is short, and that makes me wonder whether Henry got a piece of it. The shot clock continued to tick after terrific hustle, but that's a 24-second shot clock violation. So 2 trips down the floor, two turnovers for Panathinaikos. But that's down to the hustle, particularly on the ball by Perrier Henry. Did he get a piece of that shot that was fired up from the perimeter by Daryl Macon Jr., or was it just woefully short? So Henry handling the basketball, Booker moving and backing Macon down. Long-range Jays off the front rim. Both teams still looking for their first field goal, approaching a minute and a half gone. Pulling up for 3 in transition is Saint-Rose. Offensive rebound kept alive first by Daryl Macon Jr. and then Okara White. Saint-Rose with the recycled offense. They go inside to Jahiva Floyd. He turns into a double team. Kicked it back to the perimeter. Deep in the shot clock now. Oh, they find a cutting Jahiva Floyd, who rocks the rim on the pick and roll. Scoring finally opened with practically 2 minutes gone. It's Panathinaikos who lead by 2. Jahiva Floyd with that strong take to the rack. So Sheok. Deshaun Pierre picked up his dribble, looked at the rim momentarily. Devin Booker didn't really look to be a threat. Big screen set by Booker, now rocks the rim as he rolls to the bucket. Pick and roll being played expertly by both sides, and they get themselves high percentage looks on the inside. Vesely challenged the pass. Okara White with a line drive floater off one hand. Offensive rebound secured once again by Panathinaikos. Remember, they were really active in that regard last week, hauling in 17 offensive rebounds. So Vesely showing his handles in the perimeter, wheeling and dealing, kicking to Henry. 3-pointer! Jan Vesely with the delightful dish from the high post to Perrier Henry, who calmly stroked the 3-pointer. 33% from downtown last campaign, is a 31% three-point shooter for his career. Gives Fenerbahce their first lead of the game. Well, there is the rolling Jahiva Floyd. He finished strong, but then touche, say Fenerbahce. Devin Booker finishing the feed from Perrier Henry. So Papapetrou receives the inbound pass, drives to the high post before bringing it back to 3-point territory. Now he's got a mismatch in terms of mobility against Vesely. Vesely down low, challenges the shot hard, but just strung sweetly by Ioannis Papapetrou. Remember, he led Panathinaikos in scoring in their round 1 defeat. He hit that mid-range J sweetly to bring his team back to within 1. That's an offensive foul because Okara White positioned himself perfectly above the halo, planted both feet firmly in the ground. Check him out here. Right into position. Perrier Henry out of control, jumping to pass, committing the offensive foul. And it's Papapetrou confidently stroking that 3 to bring his team back to within 1. Excuse me, that mid-range J from the high post to bring his team back to within 1. So Macon finds Howard Saint-Rose, who works the jab step, goes baseline, up and under for the reverse. Panathinaikos with a 1-point lead. Beautiful play of the individual variety by Howard Saint-Rose, who used his quickness and deft touch around the rim to finish. Perrier Henry, he was 0 of 3 from downtown last week in a round 1 season opener. He has hit back-to-back 3-point buckets to put his team up by 2. Strong drive, hanging in the air, absorbing the contact. And Ioannis Papapetrou, with 4 points in the first quarter, ties things up at 8 points apiece. So Macon forcing Henry left. Henry offloads to Vesely. Vesely, not looking to be a threat, gives it straight back to Henry. Macon works his way over the screen set by Booker. Creative shot attempt. Attempted by Henry. He said to the referee, "Where's my foul?" Nothing doing. Macon pulls up in 3-point territory, reverses it back to the half-court logo where Papapetrou takes over. Sliding over the screen is Henry. High post J from Akaro White, and he connects. Panathinaikos lead by 2, equaling their largest lead of this quarter to date. Approaching the midpoint of the first period, and it's as competitive as you expect it to be between these two familiar rivals. We've got a whistle on the play as the ball was dumped down low from the perimeter. Physical battle between Akaro White and Devin Booker. Akaro White with the illegal D. Here we see his offensive contribution, immediately acknowledging the assist he received that opened him up for that high post J. Nando De Colo checking into the game for the first time. He too had a difficult night in his season opener. All of those, any rust or cobwebs will be out of his system now. Vesely sets the screen, ball goes to Devin Booker in the corner, gets his way into the lane, creative take with the left, Akaro White with the defensive board and pushes it over half court. Booker with him every step of the way. Akaro White, well, he seemed to be out of control there, but he collides with Devin Booker, whose feet were moving, and so it's Booker who will be called for the foul. Akaro White looking to split the gap between De Colo and Devin Booker, drawing the foul. We're beyond the midpoint of the first quarter, and it is a 1-possession game in a noisy OAKA. Panathinaikos OPAP Athens 10, Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul 8.
No fear. There he is on fire. Oh, Shane Larkin. Brian Dunston doing what he does best.
So that is next week's game of the week as the young guns of LDLC Asvel Villeban welcome the reigning champions to the Astrobal. This year's Asvel roster featuring one of the basketball Antetokounmpo brothers. Made an impressive debut. Season opener last week, but here at the OAKA, it is a 1-possession affair just beyond the midpoint of the first quarter. Panathinaikos leading Fenerbahce by 2. So Macon rotates it to Akaro White. Vesely slow to rotate, and so is punished with a 3-pointer in his eye. 5 points in the game now for Akaro White, connecting on his first 3-pointer. And his team lead by 5. It's their largest lead of the game. Currently in a run of 7 points without reply. Colo driving baseline, almost to carry, but he managed to offload to Devin Booker. Beautiful body fake on the crossover, and I think he really sold that contact, and that's why Akaro White has a wry smile on his face. Now check this out for a hesitation move from De Colo. There's the head fake, another one, and then the contact. Oh my goodness, I've been hit by a right cross. Akaro White can only smile because he knows that it's a foul, but I think Nando De Colo was ensuring that the officials were aware of that fact. So Guduric, who didn't play in Fenerbahçe season opener, creative take to the lane, gets the shot away with the left. And so we'll go to the free throw line, having been fouled in the act of shooting. Jahiva Floyd called for the foul. That's his first. So Guduric putting his body on the line to initiate that contact against Floyd. To the free throw line for the first time this campaign, having just stepped onto the court. Coro White taking a seat on the bench, having picked up his second foul when Nando De Colo was sent to the hardwood. So Guduric makes the first, 84% free throw shooter for his career. This is his 6th season in the EuroLeague. Again, the OAKA faithful making this a raucous atmosphere, but not able to disrupt the concentration of Marko Guduric. Makes it a one-possession game, snapping that run of 7 points without reply, posted by Panathinaikos that put them up by 5. Kick to the corner, Macon doesn't hesitate, fires for 3, off the back iron, Guduric with a strong defensive rebound, and what a lead pass to the streaking Nando De Colo. He immediately acknowledges the hookup that he received from the helper. Fenerbahçe back to within 1, Nando De Colo. You can see his numbers pretty low on the season in this, just the second game. Jahiva Floyd rotates to Sanrose, who fakes the 3. 3-pointer off the mark with the baseline effort from Jeremy Evans. So Nando De Colo pushes to Jan Vesely, who goes up strong and carries Jeremy Evans to the rack with him. Fenerbahçe rattling off 6 points without reply to go up by 1. 2 prodigious leapers going head-to-head on the baseline as we take another look at the fast break finish from Nando De Colo. Off the sweet hookup, off the strong defensive rebound from Marko Guduric. Timeout on the floor, and it's Fenerbahçe in a run of 6 points without reply, who lead by 1. Well, it really is a wonderful spectacle to see fans back in attendance at EuroLeague arenas across the continent. We've got fans of all ages in attendance here at the OAKA, seeing their heroes don the green jersey in a bid to secure a home victory for Panathinaikos. Well, Pierre Henry went 0 of 3 from downtown in the round 1 victory, but he hit back-to-back 3-pointers to put his team up first by 3 at 2-5 and then by 2 at 6-8. Strong start to the game by Pierre Henry. Always such a threat in the passing lanes, last season's league leader in terms of takeaways. So Sanrose running the baseline to inbound the basketball as Fenerbahçe defended aggressively. Full court pressure being applied by the visiting team now. Sanrose defended by De Colo. There's motion away from the basketball. Cutting hard to receive it is Daryl Macon Jr. Papapetrou changes the direction, finding space in a crowd of yellow jerseys. Tough catch for Sanrose, drives baseline, and he stepped over the sideline. Turnover committed by Howard Sanrose. Third turnover of the quarter committed by the home team, one more than Fenerbahçe. So Achille Polonara on the floor for Fenerbahçe. Kendrick Perry checking in for his first action, so too Nemanja Nedovic. Now, as a backcourt, those two players enjoyed really difficult nights in round 1. Held scoreless, missed a combined 19 shots as Jeremy Evans picks up the air ball. And their combined performance index rating was -19 as Nando De Colo commits the foul against Ioannis Papapetrou. Both teams still with foul to give with under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Nando De Colo biting on the shot fake as he looked to close out from center court. Kolo called for his first. So Nemanja Nedovic looking to inbound from the sidelines, finds a receiver in the form of Papapetrou. He's closely defended, now working the dribble. Guduric staying with him. Tough pull-up three attempted off the back iron. Ball still loose. Run down by Nando De Colo, who pushes it with a flat pass up the sideline and canned calmly from the corner. And Marko Guduric perhaps with a couple of verbals in the direction of the trailing Ioannis Papapetrou as well. Hits his first three-pointer of the night. Fenerbahce lead by 4. Clever pass on the inside. Tough finish from Ioannis Papapetrou. And that snaps the run of 9 unanswered points that Fenerbahce had posted to go up by 4. One possession game once again. Off the backboard and back iron, creative rebound by Kendrick Perry. Now turns on the Jets. What speed in the open court, but he's out of control with that speed, and now it's an uncontested scoring opportunity for Nando De Colo, who moves to 4 points in the game on perfect shooting from the field. It's a 4-point lead for Fenerbahce once again. So Perry demonstrating his quickness, but he lost control and therefore lost possession of the pill. It's Papapetrou with a strong first quarter. Perfect from 2-point territory in his 6-point haul. Nice catch on the inside by Jeremy Evans. Power dribble. Rejected by Polonara. And it will be Fenerbahce basketball from the baseline. But how about this for a catch and finish from Papapetrou? Jan Vesely with plenty of contact. Papapetrou winding upon the floor. Nothing doing, say the officials. But here was Kendrick Perry committing the turnover. And Guduric canned the three-pointer from the corner on the extra possession secure. So Perrier-Henry with 6 first-quarter points on 2 of 3 shooting from 3-point territory. De Colo gives it to Guduric. 3-guard backcourt for Fenerbahce. Whistle on the play. Panathinaikos still with fouls to give. It will be sideline possession for the visiting team. So Papagiannis into the game for the first time, deep into this first quarter. Vesely rotates it to Guduric, who's defended by Nemanja Nedovic. Polonara for 3 off the front iron. Jan Vesely with a tip volleyball style, trying to find Perrier-Henry. Got contact with the rock, but couldn't guide it to a teammate. Fenerbahce ball, Panathinaikos ball from the sidelines. So Panathinaikos ensuring that Fenerbahce have holding 0 offensive rebounds so far. Outstanding job on the defensive glass as Kendrick Perry pulls up and connects from downtown for his first EuroLeague bucket, his first bucket in a Panathinaikos jersey, and he brings his team back to within 1. He ends the drought that he endured in his season opener in his EuroLeague debut, where he was 0 of 4 from downtown. 0 of 10 from the field overall. Nemanja Nedovic with a 2-on-2. Blocking foul is the call. Nando De Colo not getting his positioning perfect in the face of the hard-charging Nemanja Nedovic in transition. His feet were planted, but you just saw him edging to the left. Nemanja Nedovic's aggressive take to the lane will see him go to the free throw line. What an atmosphere here at the OAKA. Fans on their feet, flags waving. Nedovic makes the first free throw. 82% foul shooter for his career. Didn't get to the stripe in round 1. So Nemanja Nedovic opens his scoring account after being held scoreless last week. Panathinaikos with a 1-point lead. Shot clock has been turned off. Perrier-Henry rotates it to Achille Polonara. Polonara gives it to Nando De Colo, who draws the foul on Georgios Papagiannis. defending out on the perimeter. He's a mobile big, is Papagiannis, but Nando De Colo, one of the cleverest players in the EuroLeague when it comes to using his body. His quickness was too much for Papagiannis to contain there. I think that's Dimitris Diamantidis behind that face covering, but of course with a face covering it often ends up being a game of guess who, and you can never be 100% sure, seldom be 100% sure. I think that is the great Dimitris Diamantidis behind the face covering on the Panathinaikos sideline. But we saw the rare sight of Nando De Colo missing more than one free throw in a game in round one. He went 2 of 4 from the free throw line in his 7-point total. And I say it's a rare sighting because he's the all-time leader in terms of free throw accuracy, 94% from the stripe. His consistency is resumed here in round 2. He moves to 6 points in the game, perfect from the free throw line and the field. His team lead by 1. So 7 seconds remain in the first quarter. Both teams in a penalty. Pierre Henry playing ball hawk defense. Offloaded. Papagiannis, high post, beats the end of quarter buzzer, but only finds the backboard and back of the rim. So at the conclusion of 10 highly entertaining, competitive minutes of play here, it is Panathinaikos 20, Fenerbahce 21. Oh, what a terrific opening quarter. That was the opening score of the game. Jahiva Floyd on the pick and roll, but then Touché said Fenerbahce as Devin Booker rocked the rim at the other end off the feed from Pierre Henry. And it was that type of game. Henry, back-to-back three-pointers in his 6-point total, taking Fenerbahce from 2 to 8 points single-handedly, including their largest lead of the game. Here we see the second of his threes, which put Fenerbahce up 6-8. Caro White scored effectively from the perimeter, the high post and three-point territory. That was a tough defensive rebound from Marko Guduric, hooking up a streaking Nando De Colo. Kendrick Perry, after enduring a really difficult EuroLeague debut, where he went 0 of 10 from the field, including 0 of 4 from downtown, calmly stroked his first three-pointer, his sole field goal effort of the first quarter, for 3 points in the game. So Panathinaikos 25% from downtown, 2 of 8, and the outstanding performer of the first quarter, Ioannis Papapetrou, 6 points, including some tough finishes and nice jump shots. Starting the second quarter on the bench. So the second quarter underway. Pierre Henry being shadowed by Kendrick Perry. Henry applying the brakes. Meli Mahamatoglu, the Fenerbahce captain, into the game for his first shift. Pulls up from the high post, line drive J, off the back of the iron, off the top of the backboard. Leonidas Kasalaikis with a strong defensive rebound. As we take a look at the 5 on the floor for the home team. Perry not using the screen from Evans. My goodness, well, Jeremy Evans, a former NBA slam dunk champion. But even on his best day, he might have struggled to reel that one in from Kendrick Perry. Wow, that's asking a lot of your athletic forward. He's got a terrific take down the lane to open the scoring in the second quarter from Pierre Henry. Consummate point guard play. He moves to 8 points in the game to lead all scorers. That his first 2-pointer of the fixture. Nemanja Nedovic with the floater off the back iron. Rebound picked up eventually by Melih Mehmetoglu. Sheok fakes the three. Rotates it to Achille Polonara for three, and he bottoms it. Achille Polonara with a block shot in the first quarter and confidently stroking his first made three on that, his second attempt. Strong start to the second quarter as Nedovic looks to reply off the front iron. Good look at the basket, the shot was challenged. Pierre-Henry pushing the tempo for Fenerbahce. Finds a training Marial Sheok off the back iron, tipped out creatively by Devin Booker into the hands of Pierre-Henry, and now there's a mismatch down in the low post. Devin Booker going to work immediately against Nemanja Nedovic. Whistle on the play. So Fenerbahce in the midst of a run of 7 points without reply as Kendrick Perry has lost the ball in transition again, but managed to recover. Nemanja Nedovic can't get the roll. Look at the speed on Kendrick Perry to retain possession for his team with that hustle after bagging the steal. Hung up high for Georgios Papagiannis, and that brings the Panathinaikos faithful to their feet here at the OAKA. That stems a run of 7 unanswered points spanning quarters 1 and 2. Timeout on the floor. Panathinaikos back to within 4. 22-26 the score. So some of the highlights from the action so far here at the OAKA. Mondo De Colo has been the beneficiary. Some effective feeds on the fast break. Ioannis Papapetrou started the second quarter on the bench, but was the outstanding performer of the first quarter. Perfect from two-point territory, 6 points in the game, along with an assist and a steal as well. How about that for a finish in heavy traffic? They start them young here in Athens. So full court pressure being applied by Panathinaikos. Kendrick Perry defending the ball, handling Pierre-Henry. Achille Polonara setting a screen. Not used by Pierre-Henry. Now Devin Booker sets a roadblock out on the perimeter. Change up, pull up. And Pierre-Henry fancying that matchup and going to work on Kendrick Perry. He eschewed a couple of the screens, worked the dribble, shook his man off, and has already moved to double digits as Fenerbahce equaled their largest lead of the game once again. 6 points for the second time in this second quarter. Kendrick Perry doesn't get the roll as his quickness carried him to the bucket effectively once again. I think the Panathinaikos fans are asking for basket interference here, because they're saying Melih Mehmetoglu interfered with the net while the ball was on the rack. So Devin Booker called for the foul. That's his second. Kendrick Perry to the free throw line. Didn't get to the stripe in round 1. Well, I said it was nothing to him, but the basket did indeed count. So that is a 3-point play for Kendrick Perry. He moves to 6 points in the game. 1 possession affair now. Nemanja Nedovic helped out by Georgios Papagiannis, who hustles back down low as Melih Mehmetoglu works the dribble. Achille Polonara gets Jeremy Evans in the air. The offload to Devin Booker, who rises up high before ramming it home with 2 hands. 4 points in the game, and both of them have been forceful dunks off drives and dishes from his teammates. Fenerbahce lead by 5. Kendrick Perry for 3, and he drains it. Kendrick Perry, 9 points in the game already, and he is perfect from all areas of the floor as Devin Booker finishes with the left. Devin Booker with 6 points in the game, all of them close-range finishes. Nemanja Nedovic working against Melih Mohamedoglu, drives right, initiates contact, kicks to Jeremy Evans, and Jeremy Evans connects from the corner to bring Panathinaikos back to within 1. The three balls falling freely now for the home team. There were 2 of 8 in the first quarter. Taken away by Kendrick Perry, terrific quickness, 2-on-1 opportunity! And Jeremy Evans can't finish the transition opportunity. Off the rim with the 3-point attempt. It's frantic and frenetic here during this period of play at the OAKA. Georgios Papagiannis with the defensive rebound. Perrier Henry with the foul as he collided with Leonidas Kastelakis. Back-to-back 3-pointers for Panathinaikos, sees them back to within 1. So it's Kastelakis in the low post against Deshaun Pierre. Goes to the jump hook, it's short and flat. So Decolo tries a 3 off the mark. Strong offensive rebound by Devin Booker. Sticks with it after the first play was broken up by Jahiva Floyd. Devin Booker with terrific tenacity. Got the stick back to go. 8 points in the game now. His team with a 3-point lead. Kastelakis for 3. Back iron and off right. Mandzukas. Nedovic for 3 from the top of the key. It clangs off the rim once again. Perrier Henry with the defensive board. Finds Nondo Decolo. Lots of contact down in the paint. Whistles being tweeted furiously by the officials on the floor. So here's Decolo with the dish down to Achille Polonara. Nemanja Nedovic coming to help out. So too Jahiva Floyd. And as he came back down to earth, there was a heavy collision between he and Achille Polonara. Foul on the play. And it sends Achille Polonara to the free throw line. 62% shooter for his career, but he was a perfect 2 of 2 from the stripe in round 1, Achille Polonara. Achille Polonara remains perfect from the free throw line. Nedovic still can't buy a bucket from long range. Terrific offensive rebound. Mandzukas helping out. Oh, somehow the ball has squeaked its way out to Perrier Henry. Papapetrou driving baseline. Too much contact from Achille Polonara. And after completing that 3-point play, Polonara committing the foul by colliding with the Panathinaikos captain. So Fenerbahce with a 6-point lead for the 3rd time in this second quarter, equaling their largest lead of the game. End line possession for Panathinaikos. So good job by Daryl Macon Jr. to make himself available off that hard cut down the sideline. Skip past to Perry. Sidestep 3 off the back iron. Rebound, Daryl Macon Jr. gets beneath the free throw line, asks for it back and receives it from Perry. Defended by Guduric. Jahiva Floyd comes to set a screen but doesn't commit. Now there's a mismatch on the perimeter. Daryl Macon Jr. into the lane as he blew by Devin Booker. Nemanja Nedovic 0 of 5 from the field. His sole points in this game have come from the charity stripe. 0 of 3 from 3-point territory, 0 of 2 from 2-point range. Daryl Macon Jr. goes to the free throw line. First free throws of his EuroLeague career, makes the first. To snap that run of 5 unanswered points posted by Fenerbahce. One of two from the stripe. Oh, what hustle by Panathinaikos! And the captain putting his body on the line. Mandzukic keeping that play alive when really he had no right to, the EuroLeague debutant. Just 18 years of age. An outstanding hustle play from him to make his presence felt as he's 2 minutes into his first EuroLeague shift. Again, saw Papapetrou speaking to his teammates before the opening tip. He typifying the hustle that the OAKA fans expect to see from Panathinaikos. So too Mandzukic. Guduric, defended by Perry. They go inside to Vesely, and Mandzukic will be called for the foul there, trying to defend Vesely manfully, but Vesely with the physical advantage. But look at the hustle here. Wow, where did he take off from? That's in the book now as we see the foul committed by Mandzukic after Vesely caught the basketball. So timeout on the floor. It is a 5-point lead for the visiting team. Panathinaikos OPAP Athens 32, Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul 37. Devin Booker has been active once again. That was his opening score in the game to tie things up at 2 points apiece. And he's been the beneficiary of some delightful dishes. As his teammates have taken it to the rack aggressively, he's finished efficiently and effectively around the rim. 4 of 6 from 2-point territory, 4 rebounds, 3 of them at the offensive end. Kendrick Perry, what a response from him after going 0 of 10 from the field in his EuroLeague debut. He has been shooting the ball with extreme confidence. 2 of 3 from downtown. He's bagged a couple of steals, wreaked havoc with his speed. Has completed a 3-point play as well. So a strong home debut for Kendrick Perry. His team currently trailing by 5. Jan Vesely goes to the free throw line. 61% free throw shooter for his career. Did an outstanding job from the stripe last campaign. He was 77%. Considering that in years gone by in his EuroLeague career, he was shooting in the 50s from the free throw line. So that gives you an idea as to how diligently he's worked on his foul shooting. We've got a whistle on the play away from the basketball. Vesely going 1 of 2 on that trip to the free throw line. 2-possession game as Fenerbahce lead by 6. 4th 6-point lead of this second quarter. Fenerbahce now in the penalty. Panathinaikos with fouls to give. Daryl Macon to the free throw line for foul shots 3 and 4. In this game, makes the first. So all of Daryl Macon Jr.'s points have come from the free throw line in this game so far. 0 of 2 from 3-point territory. His team trailing by 4. Kendrick Perry reaching. The non-dribbling arm of Nondo De Colo. Easy call for the officials. That's his second. Nando De Colo closely once again. De Colo with a height advantage, looking to capitalize on that by getting into the low post. He's now on the three-point line. Dechampierre looking for Danilo Bartel. He didn't feature in round one play. Fancy behind the back pass attempt is deflected out of bounds. It will remain Fenerbahce basketball, but just 3.4 seconds left on this possession. Well, Howard Saint-Rose just turning over on the stationary cycle. Oh, and that's poor defensive play on two occasions from Panathinaikos. They allow one of the best finishers around the rim in the league, Jan Vesely, to catch it beneath the bucket. And then when he missed the first attempt, he was able to get the offensive rebound by jumping most quickly, and courtesy of his good position to get the stick back to fall. Guduric sneaking up on the blind side of Papapetrou. Three-pointer rattles in and out from Mandzukic. Dribble driving in the open court. It's Vesely with an eternity to contemplate and launch a three is Nando De Colo. Can't find a range. 0 of 2 from downtown now. Daryl Macon Jr. with the quickness goes to the reverse layup after Jan Vesely came from the weak side to help on the strong side of the lane. Tough finish from Daryl Macon Jr. His first field goal of the game takes him to 5 points on the night. Brings his team back to within 4 once again. Pretty move by Daryl Macon Jr. Timeout on the floor. So Fenerbahce doing an outstanding job on the inside. Panathinaikos looking to improve their three-point percentages. Both teams solid from the free throw line. Well, Jan Vesely carrying Jeremy Evans to the rack on that strong field goal finish. And how about this for effort? Catching the ball on the inbound pass, and after not finding the finish on the first, he stayed with it, rising up high to finish above the rim. Both of his field goals of the high percentage variety. Just 5 points in the game, but he is such a presence in and around the perimeter, and is not that a player of Jan Vesely's caliber. He's just there to set screens, but when he sets screens on the perimeter, he's such a threat on the roll towards the bucket. He's also holding 4 rebounds as well, so his presence pivotal for Fenerbahce. You see the screen rolls down to the bucket, now matching up with Jeremy Evans. Dechampierre rotates it to De Colo. He's on the sideline logo. A little bit of a circus handle from Nando De Colo. Mid-range J from the free throw line is perfect. He remains perfect from 2-point territory. 8 points in the game, and Jan Vesely dishing out another dime. It's a 6-point lead once again. Howard Saint-Rose off the stationary bike, back onto the court. Can't find the finish on the layup attempt. De Colo with a transition three, and he connects it with Jeremy Evans in his vicinity. First three-pointer of the night for Nando De Colo, and that gives Fenerbahce their largest lead of the game. The advantage is 9 back-to-back buckets for Nando De Colo. Ioannis Papapetrou gets Vesely in the air and hits the pull-up three-pointer to stop the rot, ending that run of 5 unanswered points to bring his team back to within 6 once again. Taken away by Howard Saint-Rose. Terrific anticipation from one of the best ball thieves in the league. There it is, into the passing lane. Thank you very much for an easy 2-pointer. Remember, 4th in the league in steals last campaign with 1.4 per night. Didn't he take that one away effectively there for his first steal in this fixture? So Nando De Colo to maintain his perfection from 15 feet away in this game. Can't find the range on the first. And consider that Nando De Colo missed just 7 free throws in 110 attempts last year. The fact that he's missed 3 already this season gives you an idea as to how rare that is. So checking into the game for his EuroLeague debut is Seamus Hazer. 22-year-old, his first season with Fenerbahce, having signed in the off-season from Besiktas. Closing stages of the first half. Papapetrou working on Vesely, crosses him up, goes down the lane, applies the brake, step back off one leg, and it will remain Panathinaikos basketball. So Daryl Macon Jr. looking for a receiver. He finds Howard Rose in the corner. We've got about a 14-second difference, and Jeremy Evans cocks it back and crams it home to make it a one-possession affair here. Beautiful wraparound feed from the perimeter. And Jeremy Evans elevating explosively to finish that one. 7-0 run being posted by Panathinaikos to bring them back to within 3. So Nando De Colo trying the offload. Jeremy Evans was hit to it, and now it's a 3-on-1 opportunity. They beat the halftime buzzer to make it a one-possession game, and leaving the court in celebratory fashion is the Panathinaikos captain, Ioannis Papapetrou. Terrific alertness by Panathinaikos. And what a fight back they have produced now. Does the bucket count? My instinct was that it does. And that is why they are right back into this one. Check for the red. Well, surely that's out of his hands before the red light illuminated around the backboard, which makes it a one-point game after 20 minutes of play. A storming conclusion to the first half posted by the home team, rattling off 9 points without reply to close the gap on Fenerbahce. And this one in the balance with 20 minutes in the book. Panathinaikos OPAP Athens 45, Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul 46.
Turkish Airlines, 7 days, BKT, and Adidas, official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, some of the highlights from what has been a terrific first half. Pierre-Henry scoring effectively from all over the court, took it to the glass effectively there. Pierre-Henry with 10 points in the game. Georgios Papagiannis rocking the rim on that alley-oop, and look at that for one-on-one play. Pierre-Henry really fancied that matchup against Kendrick Perry, went to work on him. 2 of 3 from both 2 and 3-point territory, but Kendrick Perry has bounced back strong. 9 points in the game, including 2 of 3 from downtown. Jeremy Evans getting in on a 3-point shooting act as well for Fenerbahce. Terrific effort beneath the bucket from Devin Booker. 8 points in the game for him, along with 4 rebounds. Nando De Colo got hot. 5 points in a row. 1 jump shot from the free throw line, 1 from 3-point territory. Jeremy Evans receiving the wraparound pass from his captain. And that was part of a strong run to conclude the first half posted by the home team. Outstanding shooting percentage on the interior for Fenerbahce. Panathinaikos will be looking to bring that down, but that's courtesy of their effective ball movement. Panathinaikos more solid from the free throw line and solid with the basketball as well. 2 turnovers fewer than the visiting team. Well, Devin Booker has been a live wire once again in and around the basket for Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. 8 points in the game on 4 of 6 shooting from the field, holding 4 rebounds as well. As we take a look at some of the highlights from the first week of play, the new EuroLeague season tipped off on the Côte d'Azur as AS Monaco dominated from start to finish against Panathinaikos OPAP Athens in the EuroLeague debut. Mike James igniting the hosts, scoring the first 5 points of the season. And it was a night to remember for Danilo Andjusic, recording a career-high 17 points in just 14 minutes as Euro Cup champions Monaco claimed their first EuroLeague win in the club's history, announcing themselves as a team to watch. A thriller at the sold-out Menorah Mivtahim Arena as Maccabi Playtika Tel Aviv met FC Bayern Munich. The hosts stormed to an early lead before Deshaun Thomas led the Bayern comeback, scoring 15 points on 6 of 8 shooting on the inside. But Scotty Wilbekin shined for Maccabi, matching his career high of 28 points with 13 in the final quarter to carry his team to victory as Maccabi overcame a 9-point deficit in the final 6 minutes. Terrific contest. 2 of last year's Final Four participants clashed in the fashion capital as CSKA Moscow raced into an early lead against AX Armani Exchange Milan. Ifi Lundberg spearheading the Russian charge with 13 points and 6 assists. But in his 300th EuroLeague game, Sergio Rodriguez led Milan with 17 points to secure a comfortable victory, 84-74 the final score. Real Madrid sent a message to the rest of the EuroLeague with a commanding win over defending champions Anadolu Efes Istanbul at the Wizing Center, leading by as many as 21 points in the first half. And Eddie Tavares posted a dominant 13-point, 12-rebound double-double for Los Blancos as the 10-time continental champions cruised to an 82-69 victory. Friday night tipped off with a Russian derby at the Basket Hall Kazan as Zenit St. Petersburg defeated Unix Kazan. Conor Frankamp pacing the visitors with 18 points in his EuroLeague debut. Inspiring Unix to bridge the gap was Isaiah Kanan, scoring 18 points all in the second half, but it wasn't enough as Zenit held on to secure the road win. Starting a new era with coach Sasa Djordjevic on the sidelines, Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul silenced Vena Zvezda MTL Belgrade at the OAKA Sports and Event Hall. Fener started fast, bursting out to an early 14-point lead before Zvezda had put a point on the board. But the visiting team brought it back to within 2 in the fourth, but Deschamps Pierre sealing a win for the hosts, leading his team with 13 points. LDLC Asvel Villeban never trailed in their season opener against Zalgiris Kaunas at the Astrobal. Elia Kobo perfect from the field with 23 points on his EuroLeague debut. Ioannis Papapetrou tried to keep Zalgiris alive, scoring 7 consecutive points in the fourth on his way to 21 points on the night, but it wasn't enough as the hosts closed out the game to secure a win on their home floor to open the season. Olympiacos Piraeus started their campaign with an emphatic victory over Baskonia Vitoria Gasteiz, giving up just 22 points in the first half, while at the other end of the floor, Sasha Vezenkov led all scorers with 16. It was an historic night for Kostas Sloukas as his 5 assists take him to sole possession of 7th place on the EuroLeague all-time leaderboard, as well as joining the club for 300 career triples, rounding out a momentous night for Olympiacos. And finally, Nikola Mirotic delighted the Palau Blaugrana with a perfect shooting display as last season's runners-up FC Barcelona overpowered Alba Berlin, the forward netting 22 points. The hosts enjoyed outstanding shooting percentages, recording 63% from the field. Rokas Jokubaitis faultless in his debut for the club as Barcelona secured a blowout 96-64 victory. Time now to look at the top 5 plays of the round.
Vesterman slicing to the hole, but Sant Rose with a terrific rejection from behind. And then Akaro White takes away the attempt. Terrific interior defense by Panathinaikos.
Has hung up there, the alley-oop from Slukas to Jean-Charles, and Olympiakos just running riot now. Another highlight reel play for Livio Jean-Charles. Hines. Oh, what a finish from Shields! Siobhan Shields with a stick back with authority.
Driving the lane and finishing with a double clutch one-handed jam is Dante Hall. Back-to-back field goals for Dante Hall, but that one was of the highlight reel variety.
DeColo.
Difficult pass down the sideline, but Deshaun Pierre with the hammer, driving baseline and finishing with authority. A crowning moment produced by Deshaun Pierre.
Turkish Airlines. 7 days. BKT. And Adidas. Official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
So after 20 minutes of play, it is a 1-point game here at the OAKA. Panathinaikos OPAP Athens 45, Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul 46. A storming conclusion to the first half from the home team, capped by the captain's floater. Let's hear now from Pierre Henry.
Pierre, good effort in a tough court. What do you need to improve in the second half?
We got to stop them from getting second chances. We're playing good defense, but we got to secure the rebound so we can get out and run, get easy baskets in transition.
Thank you.
Well, Pierre Henry with double digits in terms of scoring, 2 of 3 from both 2 and 3-point territory. He's bagged a steal and shared an assist. But he has been so effective in making good things happen for his team from the point guard spot. Let's hear now from the Panathinaikos captain.
Ioannis, what a buzzer beater. First of all, good effort, of course, with a lot of energy. What do you need to keep and also to change in the second half?
I think we have a good energy, like you said. We are a little over-enthusiastic, if that's the right word. The crowd is back here, we're happy for the atmosphere, and we lose our concentration a little bit, and we relax in certain moments and we give them easy baskets. We need to be more focused, we need to be, use this atmosphere, but be able to control it.
Thank you very much.
So as we take a look at the numbers from Ioannis Papapetrou during that first half, 11 points in the game, including 4 of 5 from downtown. He's hit 1 of his 2 3-point attempts, hauled in 2 rebounds, bagged a steal, and dished 2 assists as well. All action first half display from the Panathinaikos captain in 14 minutes on court. So, Nando DeColo leading all scorers with 12 points, perfect from 2-point territory, 3 of 4 from the charity stripe, 1 of 3 from downtown. You can see it's a far stronger, more consistent, efficient effort than in round 1 for Nando DeColo. You'd expect nothing less. Then it's St. Petersburg with another road win. Third quarter in Tel Aviv. Belgrade leading Maccabi Playtika Tel Aviv, but they've shown their comeback credentials already. And it's a one-possession affair at the Audi Dome as visiting FC Barcelona facing off against FC Bayern Munich in Bavaria. Let's hear now from Sasha Djordjevic.
Coach, a great effort in a very tough court for your team in 29 minutes. What do you need to keep and to change in the second half?
Well, definitely their energy coming from our turnovers or their offensive rebound. They're a really tough team. to God in that aspect, and we have to get better in that.
Thank you very much.
We take a look at the shot zone for the visiting team. Outstanding shooting on the inside, 71%. 11 points on the break. Saw Nando De Colo, the beneficiary, have some fast break feeds that he was able to finish at the window in uncontested fashion. But they too will be looking to improve their three-point shooting percentage, although 38%, a big improvement on the 22% that they shot in round one. Let's hear now from Dimitris Priftis.
Coach, great effort with a lot of energy for your team. What do you keep and what do you need to change in the second half?
We need desperately one defensive quarter. This is what we have to do. One defensive quarter we need. With a low score.
So Panathinaikos, solid shooting from two-point territory, but that really pales into insignificance when you consider that Fenerbahçe are shooting over 70% from the same territory. 29% from downtown, again an improvement on round one, but Panathinaikos will be looking to improve that further. 8 points off turnovers, 6 second chance points, testimony to the fact that they're crashing the offensive boards hard. They've reeled in 9. Fenerbahçe by one as we prepare to start this second half here at the OAKA. So it's Fenerbahçe handling the basketball to get this third quarter underway. Pierre Henry picked up by Kendrick Perry. Vesely beyond his shooting range, hassled by Akaro White. Went to the bench pretty early with 2 first quarter fouls. Devin Booker with a foot on the three-point line. Jan Vesely with the shoulder check, turns baseline away from the help of Jeremy Evans, and Akaro White rubbing it out without leaving his feet. Terrific defensive play by Akaro White. Kendrick Perry with the quickness, drives, kicks. Howard Sanrose for 3 off the front iron, ball loose. Pierre Henry secured the defensive board. Deshaun Pierre with the behind-the-back dribble move. Ball knocked away by Howard Sanrose. We've got a whistle on the play. The ball was deflected into the hands of a Fenerbahçe teammate. Here's Deshaun Pierre with the move. Sanrose coming in from behind. Vesely was able to reel in the loose ball. If that's on Akaro White, well, that's his third. Remember, he picked up 2 fouls quickly in the early proceedings. It's Devin Booker with the perimeter J and strokes it sweetly to move to 10 points in the game. The third double-digit scorer for Fenerbahçe. 5 of 7 from the field. Opens the scoring to put his, in the second half, to put his team up by 3. Snapping that run of 9 points without reply, posted by Panathinaikos to close the second quarter. Sanrose driving and beating Guduric. He commits the foul to ensure that he doesn't give up a layup attempt. Foul before the act of shooting. Guduric called for his second. So Akaro White remaining on the floor despite having picked up his third foul. early in this second half. So Perry working on Guduric, who's just been called for his second foul. Pulls up, tough shot attempt, tough D by Guduric to block that shot and rub out the three-point field goal attempt fired by Kendrick Perry. And now look at Guduric looking to take advantage of Perry down in the low post. Perry saying, well, hold on a minute, he's giving me shots to the face with the whistle the other way. You can see Guduric manhandling him down in the low post. Perry standing strong, defending him manfully, but it's he who is called for the foul. That's his third. Tough turnaround on the inside. Vesely not able to find the finish. Okara White booking down court, but he is bookended by Guduric and Deshaun Pierre. And now Okara White demanding the basketball. He receives it, goes to work in the low post, converging on a double team. It's Guduric, Okara White with the turnaround jump hook over the top of Deshaun Pierre. Terrific play in the low post. Brings his team back to within one on that opening score of the second half for the home team. Almost identical from two-point territory as Guduric canned the three-pointer. 2 of 4 from downtown now in his 8-point total. 4-point lead for Fenerbahce. You heard Coach Dimitris Priftis say that they want a defensive quarter. Well, Fenerbahce have put 5 points on the board already as San Rose working the handle, drives, gets creative and kisses it off the glass for his third 2-point field goal of the game. 6 points on the night now for Howard San Rose. Makes it a one-possession game. His team down by 2. Deshaun Pierre to Henry. Henry off the back iron. Vesely fighting for the offensive rebound. Okara White able to secure it. 5th rebound of the night for him as San Rose working the dribble once again. Got to the free throw line but pulled it back out. Jeremy Evans rotates it to Papapetrou. Works the jab step. Devin Booker on Papapetrou now. Papapetrou gives himself running room. Crosses up and collides with Guduric. And that is going to be a foul on a Fenerbahce player. I suspect it's Guduric, who's already picked up a foul this quarter, remember, on the reach on the driving Panathinaikos player. Here this time he came over from the weak side to help out, and he's called for his third foul. So will he remain on court? So Howard San Rose taking a seat on the bench. Guduric staying on court with 3 fouls before the midpoint of the third quarter. Will Panathinaikos look to attack him? Mid-range J as everybody left. Papapetrou. Deshaun Pierre pulls in the defensive rebound off the errant shot. Devin Booker with a bulk advantage over Papapetrou. Spins baseline. Papapetrou buffets him to maintain position. Offensive rebound secured. And then what an offload and a beautiful reverse finish with the left hand from Deshaun Pierre. Devin Booker, so active. 4th offensive rebound of the night, and then a delightful dish out of the low post, making good things happen when he's in and around the basketball. Devin Booker, his team lead by 4 after Deshaun Pierre with his first field goal of the game. We've got an offensive foul. Perfect positioning beneath the bucket. Deshaun Pierre giving up his body. And how about this? Running down the offensive rebound and finding the cutting Deshaun Pierre. So Shayok into Vesely. Okara White gambled fronting. Ball went over him with a perfectly placed lob pass. Jan Vesely with the finish. 7 points in the game on 50% shooting from 2-point territory. He's 3 of 6. Okara White looking to get some get back, and he rattles it home. Okara White 3 of 4 from 2-point territory. 9 points in the game. Keeps his team within touching distance. They're trailing by 4. Shayok. As the duel resumes once again, Jan Vesely with terrific work in the low post. That drop step off the dribble sees him go to 9 points in the game. who's that off last? I thought it was off Kendrick Perry's knee, but what say the officials? They're more optimally placed than I. So there's the drive. Was indeed last touched by Jan Vesely. Nemanja Nedovic with a tough shot. Now that's a bucket, is it? Yes, it is. So Nemanja Nedovic gets his first field goal of the game. Courtesy of a bit of basket interference. Creative take to the bucket. I think that's, well, it is indeed an illegal takeaway by Dechampierre. So maybe this will get the field goals flowing for Nemanja Nedovic, who was 0 of 5 from the field prior to that make. But he's perfect from the free throw line, 3 of 3 tonight. And that takes him to 5 points in the game. He makes it a one-possession affair once again. His team trailing by 3. So Nedovic defending the ball handler, Pierre Henry. Henry being offloads to Devin Booker. Dechampierre looking to abuse Kendrick Perry down in the low post, and Kendrick Perry, well, he's giving it everything he's got, but when you stand just 1.85 meters tall and you're trying to defend the 2.02 meter Dechampierre, well, it's an all or nothing type affair. You've got to gamble and get the steal, or try and hold your feet and hope that help comes before the basketball or as the basketball arrives. He's saying, come on, man, you can see the mismatch down there, give me some help. But the officials are making the correct call. Kendrick Perry now called for his 4th foul. Timeout on the floor, and it's Panathinaikos trailing Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul by 3. Well, Jan Vesely has started to get busy in this second half. See him catching the ball in front of Akaro White, behind Akaro White, the lob pass came, and then look at that for a spin move. Down in the low post off the dribble. 9 points in the game for Jan Vesely. 4 of 7 from 2-point territory, along with 6 rebounds as well. Vasilis Kavadas over on the sideline behind that facial covering. Jahiva Floyd checking back into the game. Kendrick Perry on 4 fouls for Panathinaikos. Cara White remaining on the floor with 3 fouls for the home team. Marko Guduric has 3 fouls for Fenerbahce. He currently on the sidelines. Nice catch on the inside by Booker. He's asking for a foul. Pierre Henry sneaking up on the blind side of Papapetrou, but he keeps the dribble alive, hangs it up for Jahiva Floyd. And Jahiva Floyd with his 2nd field goal of the game. He opened the scoring with a pick and roll flush. And this one, an alley-oop feed from his skipper. He remains perfect from the field. His team back to within 1. Can they get over the hump? Off the rim with the jump shot is Marial Sheok. So Papapetrou rotates it to Akaro White. Pulls up for 3 off the back iron via the backboard. So perhaps not the shot that Panathinaikos were looking for as they go in search of their first lead of the game since the first quarter, when they led 20 points to 19. Booker again with a clever pass when he ran into a roadblock beneath the bucket. Terrific vision from Devin Booker for his 3rd assist of the game. Jan Vesely moves to double digits in scoring, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Dechampierre putting his body on the line again. Drew the charge against Jeremy Evans just a couple of possessions ago, and this time it's Akaro White rumbling down the lane. Standing sentry was Dechampierre, perfect positioning above the halo. You see Pierre Henry trying to pick the pocket of Ioannis Papapetrou. He was able to keep his handle and hang it up on a platter for Jahiva Floyd's second field goal of the game. So it remains a one-possession game, and having got back to within one, it was perhaps a rather hasty three attempted by Akaro White over Jan Vesely, couldn't find a range, and now Fenerbahce leading by 3 once again. Panathinaikos led 20 points to 19 in the closing stages of the first quarter. Efterios Mantzoukas picking up his second foul, trying to defend down in the low post. He takes a seat on the bench. Kendrick Perry and Akaro White now with 4 fouls apiece for Panathinaikos, both of those players on the sidelines. Jan Vesely with a double dozen points in the game. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Tough take to the lane by Nemanja Nedovic, can't get it to go, and it's last touch by Panathinaikos. Jahiva Floyd hustling after the basketball. Well, there's no quit in Nemanja Nedovic. Shots not falling for him tonight, but when you're a prolific scorer such as he, it often only takes one field goal to fall to open the floodgates and get things going. Nondo De Colo being defended by Daryl Macon Jr. Daryl Macon Jr. applying the hand check and the arm bar. De Colo driving. Floater is good. Nondo De Colo, 14 points in the game to lead all scorers. He remains perfect from 2-point territory from where he is 4 of 4. Fenerbahce, 5 unanswered points on the board. And again, Coach Dimitris Prifdis asking for a defensive quarter. It is Panathinaikos who have been shackled to the tune of just 11 third quarter points, trailing the visiting team in this quarter by 5. Well, Akaro White currently on the bench with 4 fouls, but he has been really impactful in this game. 5 rebounds, 9 points, efficient shooting from 2-point territory, 1 of 3 from downtown. He got himself a tremendous block down in the low post as well, where he didn't leave his feet, but stood up high, and then showing a strong set of rotator cuffs, just battered the ball back down like a middle blocker on the volleyball court. But currently, well, no doubt he is being saved for crunch time. Still in the third quarter, remember. So Akaro White and Kendrick Perry with 4 fouls. Marko Guduric with 3 for Fenerbahce. Those are the players in a little bit of foul trouble with just under 3 minutes to play in quarter number 3. So mild full court pressure being applied by Fenerbahce. Daryl Macon Jr. brings it over the halfway line, hugging the sideline, rotates it to Evans. Papapetrou, Nedovic now cutting through the middle. Daryl Macon Jr. has been left all alone. He tried a quick shovel pass down to Jahiva Floyd, but it was picked off by the alertness of Devin Booker, who continues to stuff the stat sheet, bagging his first steal of the night. Nondo De Colo initiating contact once again, and Daryl Macon Jr. was saying, hold on, he's playing thespian there, because I'm the one standing my ground, and it's De Colo reverberating after the contact. So he will go to the free throw line, Nondo De Colo. 3 of 4 from the line tonight, in his game high 14 points.
Now you take it.
So Nondo De Colo rattles home the second to move to a game-high 16 points, 5 of 6 from the stripe overall. Panathinaikos trailing by 7 in this quarter. Nemanja Nedovic jumping to pass. Daryl Macon Jr. rotates to Evans, fouled on a 3-point shot by Marial Sheok, and that'll send him to the free throw line for 3 foul shots. I'm not quite sure what the nature of... Well, Sheok saying that he didn't foul him, but I think that replay clearly indicates that he caught the shooter on his elbow after the ball had been released. Hand is part of the basketball, but not a forearm and elbow. So Jeremy Evans to the free throw line. Can't find the range on the first. His first trip to the stripe tonight, as you saw, he's a 69% foul shooter for his career. First trip to the free throw line this season. That snaps the run of 7 unanswered points posted by Fenerbahce to put them up by 8. 2 of 3 from the free throw line for Jeremy Evans. He moves to 7 points in the game. His team trailing by 6, 58-64 the score. And we have got an offensive foul. Daryl Macon Jr. winding up on the hardwood. Nondo De Colo called for his 3rd. And Nemanja Nedovic, defended by Sheok, rotates it to Daryl Macon Jr., fakes the 3, gives it back to Nedovic, finds Evans, drives, good movement to the feet by Devin Booker, clever offload, Jahiva Floyd muscles that one up from beneath the basket to move to 6 points in the game. He remains perfect from the field. 3 out of 3 from 2-point territory for Jahiva Floyd. His team back to within 4. To De Colo, defended by Macon, helping out on the hedge is Jahiva Floyd. Mariel Sheok has it taken away by Nemanja Nedovic. Terrific steal. He gets in front of all the Fenerbahce defenders and finishes with the reverse. And listen to the ovation, that hustle play and fast break finish receives from Nemanja Nedovic. Taking it away from Mariel Sheok. Head up to take a picture of the defenders, see where they are. He's confident he can beat them all to the glass. And he splits the gap by going to the reverse with the right hand. And that received a hearty ovation from the fans here at the OAKA, because they know that his mid-range J from the perimeter isn't falling, but he's demonstrating the type of commitment that all home fans want to see. So timeout on the floor. Panathinaikos back to within 2 in the midst of a run of 6 unanswered points. Well, Jahiva Floyd has been a real strong presence in and around the basket for Panathinaikos. Was his second half alley-oop off the feed from Ioannis Papapetrou, and look at that for a strong finish beneath the bucket. Catching, absorbing the contact, pump faking, and finishing with the left from directly beneath the hoop. 6 points in the game on 3 of 3 shooting from the field. Well, the place is positively jumping here at the OAKA. And imagine the decibel level if Fenerbahce can take if Panathinaikos can take their first lead since the first quarter. They're currently down by 2. Fenerbahce in possession. Vesely posting up Papapetrou. Matchup zone being played, and Papapetrou's quick feet poked the ball away from Vesely before he received it. Shot clock continuing to tick. Pierre-Henry with a strong drive, broken up. Papapetrou again getting a piece of the basketball as Pierre-Henry drove the lane. Daryl Macon Jr. drives, attacks. Jahiva Floyd hanging off the rim, but he came down without the rock as he attempted a stick back. So Guduric just calling for calmer heads to prevail from his side to just silence the crowd and quell this frenetic passage of play. And we've got a foul on the wraparound from behind, have we? What's the call here? It's a 3-second violation. Jan Vesely too long in the lane. Well, Floyd thought that he got it in his grip. Vesely making it a difficult reception, or a difficult catch off the rim. So Jan Vesely called for that 3-second violation. On the run now is Nemanja Nedovic. Drives, kicks, Papapetrou for 3. Off the front rim, and this time there's no mistake from Floyd as he rose up high to catch the stick back and ram it home with tremendous force to tie things up at 64 points apiece. It's an 8-0 run posted by the home team to bring us back to parity. And now the crowd raising their volume once again as they look to hold Fenerbahçe from scoring. But Achille Polonara silences the crowd with a corner 3-pointer to put his team up by 3 in the closing stages of this third quarter. Well, it has been breathless stuff here at the OAKA. The quarter edged by Fenerbahçe by 2, 19-21 in their favor. But look at Floyd rise up in between a brace of Fenerbahçe defenders there. But his leap, the more powerful, his timing was truer, and he crammed it home to tie things up at 64. But it was a short-lived period of parity because Achille Polonara connected on a corner 3. So some of the highlights then from a fast-paced period of play. Caro White with the jump hook on the inside. Guduric connecting from long range. Howard Saint-Rose getting creative as he drove the lane and finished off the glass. 6 points in the game for him on 3 of 4 shooting from the field. Dechampierre able to finish on the cut to the lane. Jan Vesely, one of a multitude of double-digit scorers for Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. 12 points in the game for him on 5 of 8 shooting from the field. Floyd has punished the rim repeatedly tonight. Alley-oops, putbacks, screen and rolls to the rim. Ioannis Papapetrou off the mark, and that was the final point of an 8-0 run which tied things up at 64 points apiece in the closing stages of quarter number 3. Achille Polonara stroked a 3-pointer, his second of the game, to move to 9 points in the game to give his team a 3-point lead with 1 quarter to play. And Achille Polonara, the outstanding performer of the third quarter, 6 points in the quarter, perfect from the field, along with an offensive rebound as well. That the final bucket for Panathinaikos of quarter number 3. So the fourth quarter underway, looking to break the press of Panathinaikos as Fenerbahce apply full court pressure right from the inbound pass to begin this final stanza. Evans finds a cutting Daryl Macon Jr. Vesely on the top of a matchup zone now for Fenerbahce. Daryl Macon Jr. finding space as the shot clock buzzer was about to sound. And he brings his team back to within 1 with that first score of quarter number 4. Guduric, defended by Nedovic. Jan Vesely catches on the cut, curls to the bucket and finds the finish. 14 points in the game for Jan Vesely on 6 of 9 shooting from the field. His team up by 3. Nedovic has lost his footing and lost the basketball. Vesely getting down low to find Achille Polonara. Now it's a 3-on-3 opportunity. Guduric to Achille Polonara. He elects to slow things down and wait for the reinforcements to arrive over the halfway line. Henry, guarded by Daryl Macon Jr. Polonara's lost his footing now. He gets into the hands of Vesely. There's going to be a wet patch in the lane, but Dechampierre
cans his first three-pointer of the night on that, his second attempt. 5 points in the game, and it's 5 unanswered points for the visiting team. Off the iron. And then there's a wrestling match down in the lane as Daryl Macon Jr. tried to take it out of the breadbasket of Jan Vesely. He'll be called for the foul. Daryl Macon Jr. complaining that the call's gone against him. But again, I think that replay provides clear and irrefutable evidence that a foul was committed. Daryl Macon called for his second. So short corner J from Jan Vesely is off the mark. Daryl Macon Jr. over the halfway line. Ioannis Papapetrou picked up by Deshaun Pierre, the marquee matchup we highlighted prior to the opening tip. Big mismatch in the low post. Trying to create it. Offload when he was double-teamed was Georgios Papagiannis. But he's turned the basketball over. And now there's a mismatch on the other end. Guduric crossing up. Georgios Papagiannis splits the gap, gets between Evans and Papagiannis, got the shot away, but it rolled off the rim into the hands of the home team. So Perrier Henry called for the foul. So consultation between the officials in the open court. And we're going to have a review to see what type of foul this is. Remember, it must be deemed to be a legitimate play on the basketball. Henry initiating contact when the ball handler had gone by him. How will the officials interpret this foul committed by Perrier Henry? And it's an unsportsmanlike, deemed not to be a legitimate play on the basketball. 2 free throws and possession on the way for the home team. It's been a strong start to the final quarter by Fenerbahce. It was Panathinaikos who scored 4 first, but then Fenerbahce ran out 5 points without reply to go up by 6. A potential 5-point trip down the floor here. So Nemanja Nedovic, a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line in his 9-point total tonight. He's found a way to get points on the board on a night where his jump shot hasn't been falling for him once again. He's 0 of 3 from downtown, is Nemanja Nedovic. So the hook off the mark. Big screen set by Devin Booker to free Perrier Henry. Inside they go to Booker. Left-handed hook shot is sweet. Devin Booker with 12 points in the game, 6 of 9 from the field, 6 rebounds as well. Outstanding performance once again for the second successive week from Devin Booker. Plenty of time left in this game as Nemanja Nedovic ends his 3-point drought, connecting for the first time from downtown tonight. He's now 1 of 4 in this second round fixture after going 0 of 4 in round 1 and starting 0 of 3 in this game. He makes it a 1-possession game, his team trailing by 3 as he moves to 12 points in the game to become his team's leading scorer. Devin Booker fighting for the offensive rebound.
committing that foul against Georgios Papagiannis. It's his third. Devin Booker. So approaching 4 minutes gone in the final quarter. It's all square, 7 points apiece so far, and we've got a foul on a three-point shooter. Nando De Colo colliding with Daryl Macon Jr. And you perhaps saw the gesture from Nando De Colo, was saying, hold on a minute, that's not a foul. Because Daryl Macon Jr. is making like a starfish, kicking his legs out. So we're seeing whether this is 2 or 3 free throws. My instinct is that it was a 3. But how about that? We're seeing the exact same output as the officials here now. The video operator doing an outstanding job, and I don't think there's any daylight between the right foot of Daryl Macon Jr. and the three-point line. Rather pixelated though as they zoom in, but it is a 2-point shot. So a trip to the free throw line for 2 shots. But Nando De Colo still pleading his case, saying that he's making himself bigger is the shooter. He's not going up and down in his cylinder of verticality. Well, that won't be of any concern to Daryl Macon Jr. 3 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Looking to add to his 7-point total. So Daryl Macon Jr. perfect from the stripe, 5 of 6 overall from 15 feet away, 9 points in the game, and his team trail by 1. Edging this fourth quarter in scoring 9-7 as De Colo, defended by Daryl Macon Jr. Perrier Henry leaves Nemanja Nedovic in his wake after using that screen effectively and gets his own offensive rebound to put his team up by 3. Perrier Henry with 12 points in the game. Daryl Macon Jr. has his shot swatted away forcefully by Jan Vesely. Ioannis Papapetrou runs into traffic. Terrific catch by Jeremy Evans. He can't find the finish as he looked to go via the window. Daryl Macon Jr. committing the foul in the open court. Well, Panathinaikos got themselves back to within 1 for the second time in this fourth quarter. They got it to 66-67 on there after opening the scoring to begin the fourth period. Jan Vesely with the catch, and they got it to 73-74. Only for Fenerbahce to give themselves breathing room once again on Perrier Henry's stickback. Caro White with his 6th rebound of the game. Daryl Macon Jr. pulling up from the elbow and drills it. 11 points in the game for Daryl Macon Jr. with 3 of 5 from downtown in his 13-point debut in round 1. Perrier Henry got creative, and Devin Booker fouled as he looked to make the catching conversion. Nemanja Nedovic, the guilty party. That'll be his 2nd foul. So again, back to within 1, Panathinaikos. Edging this final quarter by 2, 11-9 so far, but there is a trip to the free throw line forthcoming for Devin Booker. So timeout on the floor. Is this perhaps the defensive quarter that coach Dimitris Priftis asked for at the halftime interval from his team? Panathinaikos with the slightest of advantages. We're just around the midpoint. Still plenty of time and indeed life left in this round 2 fixture. Well, plenty of fun and festivities in evidence here at the OAKA. Green Kong patrolling the sidelines in Panathinaikos' white jersey. The mood will be filled with far more fun and festive cheer if Panathinaikos can post a win to even their season ledger at 1-1. They are right in the mix in this game, currently trailing by 1. Devin Booker goes to the free throw line. Can't find the range on the first on his first trip to the stripe tonight. It's 2 of 2 from the free throw line in his 8-point total in round 1. Terrific rebound by Georgios Papagiannis, taking that one off the cylinder. His second rebound of the game. Devin Booker going 0 of 2 from the free throw line. Eye-popping indeed from Georgios Papagiannis. So Papapetrou receives the inbound pass, and my goodness, that's a shoulder charge. Ho-ho! Marko Guduric just letting his international teammates and compatriot know, listen, we're not in our national team jerseys here tonight. Have some of this. And leaves a piece of his body on Guduric as he went to receive that pass. As competitive as you'd expect it to be between two outstanding guards. Guduric continues his consistency from the free throw line to tie things up. So Nemanja Nedovic, 14 points in the game on 7 of 7 shooting. Gives Panathinaikos their first lead since the first quarter, when they were up 20 points to 19 in the closing stages of quarter number 1. What a dribble move, the drive and dish from Guduric. Achille Polonara off the mark, and that is a sensational offensive rebound and stick back from Devin Booker. His 5th offensive rebound of the night takes him to 14 points in the game. And Panathinaikos' lead was short-lived. Akaro White in the low post, turning, dishing. Georgios Papagiannis, now it's Papapetrou working on Devin Booker. Deshaun Pierre across the help. We've got a scrum on the hardwood, and we're going to have a jump ball at the free throw line. So Achille Polonara taking a seat on the bench. Jan Vesely checking back in the event that Panathinaikos win this tip. It's got to be a case of catch and shoot because only 1.6 seconds remain on this possession. So it's Papapetrou and Deshaun Pierre. Akaro White with a double clutch finds the iron. Ball still loose, but Fenerbahce able to run it down. Very well executed play by Panathinaikos. Akaro White's basketball IQ in evidence there. He was aware of the time, score, context as Deshaun Pierre drives, gets the shot away, and will go to the free throw line, having been fouled in the act of shooting. So Papapetrou called for his first. Deshaun Pierre to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Cannot find the range Fenerbahçe, rather profligate from the charity stripe, just 10 of 16. He makes the second as Dechampierre to move to 6 points in the game. Put his team up by 2. 3.5 minutes to play now. We are in crunch time here at the OAKA. Nemanja Nedovic with a daring drive, a Euro step and a creative left-handed finish. What a move from the game's leading scorer, joint high scorer now with Nando De Colo is Nemanja Nedovic, finding a way to put the ball in the hole, and then Devin Booker called for the offensive foul, and Nemanja Nedovic in the thick of the action once again, receiving a standing ovation from the Panathinaikos faithful here at the OAKA. Fighting his way through that screen is Nemanja Nedovic, and it's an illegal one set by Devin Booker. That's his 4th foul, and Nemanja Nedovic, who has spoken with such passion and positivity about the fan support players receive here at Panathinaikos, asking for more of it with that gesture down on the floor. So 3 minutes to play here in Athens. It is all square, 79 points apiece between these two familiar rivals. There's Nedovic on a pull-up 3 off the back iron, big rebound to Cara White, count the bucket, and he'll go to the free throw line looking to add one more. And the fans in the crowd just repeating that gesture from the officials that the basket is good. Terrific activity on the offensive glass from Cara White to snare that one, and then his jump off the ground on his second effort was quicker than anybody else, able to beat their outstretched arms on top of their high-flying leaps to get the bucket to go. Cara White moving to 11 points in the game. 4 double-digit scorers now for Panathinaikos, as they have a 2-point lead. So Cara White completes the 3-point play to put his team up by 3. Deep into crunch time here at the OAKA. So the hook shot is good from Dechampierre. That's a tough finish over Ioannis Papapetrou. Snaps to run of 5 unanswered points. And it's a 1-point game once again. Daryl Macon Jr. looking to put Nando De Colo on his back. That's a tough ask of Ioannis Papapetrou, and in trying to pick up that really difficult daisy cutter of a pass, the sideline has been breached. Turnover count tied at 12 apiece. But Macon Jr., it's a tough pickup there. And there you see the briefest breaches of the sideline. Jan Vesely off the drive and dish from Marko Guduric puts his team up by 1, and that is far too easy from Panathinaikos' point of view. Jan Vesely moves to 16 points in the game, joining Nando De Colo and Nemanja Nedovic on 16. It's Nedovic handling the basketball now. His team trailing by 1. Driving on Achille Polonara into the lane, only into the long arm of the law in the form of Jan Vesely. Achille Polonara swooping in for the rebound, his 2nd of the night. How pivotal a passage of play will that prove to be, as the Serbian national teammates go head-to-head once again. Guduric handling the basketball, defended by Nedovic. Dechampierre working on Nedovic, takes him into the lane, drives, dish, Jan Vesely with back-to-back slam dunks. And the 2018-19 regular season MVP running riot on the inside. During this passage of play, it is all square in the 4th quarter, 18 points apiece. Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul with a 3-point lead, 82-85 the score. Well, for the 7 days magic moment, we go to the final score of the 3rd quarter. quarter for Panathinaikos when Ioannis Papapetrou was off the mark with a three-pointer, but on clean-up duty and demonstrating a high rising vertical was Jahiva Floyd, rising up high to ram home the putback. The 7 days magic moment, catching between two Fenerbahce defenders and crowning them both. So this game still in the balance. All square, 18 points apiece. Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul currently in a run of 6 points without reply. That is how they have created this 3-point lead after Panathinaikos led by 3 at 82-79. Daryl Macon Jr. handling, comes to center court. Nemanja Nedovic drives, dishes, nice catch by Okara White, tough shot on the inside, somehow retrieved the basketball once again. Nemanja Nedovic for 3 off the front iron, rebound Jan Vesely. A double-double for Jan Vesely, that his 10th rebound to go with a game-high 18 points. And again, he is coming up big in the crunch. Jean-Pierre wheeling and dealing down in the low post to become another double-digit scorer for Fenerbahce. Perfect shooting from 2-point territory takes him to 10 points in the game. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point lead. And a run of 8 points without reply deep in this fourth quarter, posted by the visitors. Well, Jean-Pierre, so composed in a low post, he's got a height and size advantage over Nemanja Nedovic. And that brings Dimitris Diamantidis to his feet, applauding that one-on-one move from the wing, finished in the lane by Jean-Pierre. Well, the crowd still trying to rally the home team, but they're far quieter than they were during that 5-0 run, which saw Panathinaikos go up by 3, 82-79. Since that point, it has been all Fenerbahce at the offensive end. 8 points without reply to go up by 5. So they need quick scores here. Papagiannis receives the inbound pass. Nemanja Nedovic working the dribble. That will stop the clock. Fenerbahce in the penalty, so it will send Nemanja Nedovic to the free throw line. He's a perfect 7 of 7 tonight from 15 feet away. He'll be looking to maintain perfection to bring his team back to within a single possession and snap this run of 8 unanswered points that has been posted by Fenerbahce to put them in this advantageous position. So if he makes this, it will be a one-possession game. Panathinaikos will need a stop and the basketball. Nemanja Nedovic has done his part, brought his team back to within a single score. Howard Saint-Rose, the master ball thief, back into the game. Jan Vesely receives the inbound pass. Okara White defending. Okara White playing with 4 fouls. Marko Guduric sandwiched on the sideline. That's up for grabs. Clever play by Jan Vesely. He was put at full stretch to receive that Hail Mary feed from across court from his teammate who was in a double team. But watch him here. Knows he's got no control, so he bounces it off Ioannis Papapetrou, who was defending. Hands clasped in prayer by that Panathinaikos spectator up in the stands here. First order of business is that Panathinaikos need a stop. They need the basketball. To De Colo, handling. They're electing to play straight up and not commit a foul. They hang it up for Vesely. Now they've got the stop. So can they get a score here to tie things up? Akaro White, back out to Daryl Macon Jr. Now is the whistle gone? But surely they need a 3. So what will they do here? Make the first, intentionally miss the second? Marko Guduric has fouled out. 8 points in the game, 2 of 4 from downtown. Devin Booker checks back into the game. He's got 4 fouls, so too Nondo De Colo. Akaro White playing with 4 on the floor for Panathinaikos. So the foul being reviewed. So Guduric raising his hand immediately, having committed the foul just there. Now we've had one unsportsmanlike foul called against Pierre Henry. Has to be a legitimate play on the basketball, remember. And it's an unsportsmanlike foul that is being called against Marko Guduric. So his 5th foul. Sees him take a seat on the bench, and now it is 2 free throws and possession to come for Fenerbahce. So if they make both of these foul shots, they will be trailing by 1. On the ensuing possession, they will have then 10.8 seconds to get a field goal of any description, which would potentially put them up by at least 1. Daryl Macon Jr., 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 12 points in the game, looking to equal the 13 points he posted on his debut by making this free throw. And he coolly cans it from the free throw line. It is a 1-point game. The ensuing possession on the unsportsmanlike foul assessed against Marko Guduric gives Panathinaikos the ball on the sideline. Handling of the basketball, being strong with the basketball, going to be absolutely crucial here. Who will take the responsibility of the last shot? Papapetrou inbound to Nedovic. Inside his jersey is Pierre Henry. Nedovic working on Henry, splits the gap, tries to drive and dish. Ball goes out of bounds. And it will remain Panathinaikos basketball with 2.9 seconds remaining. So practically 8 seconds elapsed on that inbound play. And now Panathinaikos, well, it's not quite catch and shoot, but there's going to be time for very little in addition to that. So 2.9 seconds remain. What is it being reset to? Let's take a look. It remains at 2.9 seconds. So 2.9 seconds remain in this game. Panathinaikos trailing by 1. They led by 3 in the 4th quarter, 82-79. They've battled back magnificently after being down by 8. Execution going to be absolutely crucial here. Who will be called upon to take the last shot? We've got an unsportsmanlike foul. Oh my goodness. Drama here in the closing stages at the OAKA. Body check. As Devin Booker lowered the shoulder into the sternum of Nemanja Nedovic, bowling him over to the ground like a skittle. And the Panathinaikos faithful raising the roof here at the OAKA. Because Nemanja Nedovic has the opportunity to put this game on ice. 3 unsportsmanlike fouls have been assessed against Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul, 2 of them in crunch time. Marko Guduric was hit with an unsportsmanlike foul. That was his 5th, which sent Daryl Macon Jr. to the free throw line for 2 shots and possession. This was the ensuing possession after Daryl Macon Jr. calmly connected on both free throws. And that has been called unsportsmanlike as Devin Booker lowered the shoulder into the chest of the cutting Nemanja Nedovic, who went to receive the basketball. So Coach Sasa Djordjevic has elected to challenge that call, that a new feature of EuroLeague basketball this campaign. To the free throw line goes Nemanja Nedovic. Outstanding free throw shooting to tie things up. 10 out of 10 from the stripe. If he makes this, and he does so, Panathinaikos edge ahead by 1. 20 points in the game for Nemanja Nedovic. And now Panathinaikos must be strong with the rock. They make the catch. Foul before the whistle. Dechampierre not happy with the call. So 0.5 seconds elapsed off that game clock because there's the foul. Now, is it in the act of shooting or not? Because if it's in the act of shooting, I think that's a 3-pointer that was being attempted. If not, with Fenerbahce in a penalty, it will be 2 free throws. But Panathinaikos' outstanding foul shooting, 22 of 24, make it 23 of 25. Outstanding from the free throw line tonight. And it was indeed a 3-pointer. So Ioannis Papapetrou, his first trip to the free throw line, came in the closing seconds to put this game on ice. A perfect trip to the stripe from the captain. Fenerbahce will inbound, but there's not enough time for them to close this deficit. And a terrific victory has been posted by the home team. A terrific fight back in the closing stages of what was a dramatic, incident-filled encounter between these 2 familiar rivals. And once again, it is the home team that have emerged victorious here, extending the dominance of home teams in this particular fixture. That is now 8 of the last 9 meetings of this rivalry has been secured by the home team. Consultation over at the table. So this one not yet in the book. So, time appears to be remaining in this game. 2.4 seconds to be exact. It's a 4-point lead for Panathinaikos. They will be determined not to foul. Nondo De Colo has hit the court. Achille Polonara makes the catch. Back iron on the 3-point attempt. And that is it. An incident-filled encounter here at the OAKA comes to an end with a come-from-behind victory for the home team. Panathinaikos OPAP Athens get their first win of the campaign here in round 2. And my goodness, didn't it come in dramatic circumstances? 3 unsportsmanlike foul calls assessed against Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. 2 of them coming in crunch time inside the final 20 seconds of this fixture.
Panathinaikos OPAP Athens outstanding from the free throw line. 25 of 27 from the stripe. And they used their pinpoint accuracy from the charity stripe to put this game on ice and maintain the dominance of the home team in this familiar rivalry. That is now 8 of the last 9 contests where the home team has prevailed in matchups between Panathinaikos OPAP Athens and Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. And in the final analysis, all of that means that Panathinaikos OPAP Athens have prevailed with a 4-point win over Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul. 91-87, the final score. And tonight's Adidas player of the game is Nemanja Nedovic, who was at the heart of so many good things for Panathinaikos OPAP Athens tonight. Started the game 0 of 3 from downtown, got 1 to fall to finish at 1 of 6, but he was an outstanding, impeccable 11 out of 11 from the free throw line. He bagged a steal, scored a team-high 20 points, a game-high 20 points to lead his team to victory. Finding a way to get it done, Nemanja Nedovic drawing that unsportsmanlike foul on Devin Booker in the closing stages. When Nedovic went to make his cut, Devin Booker hit him with a deltoid to the sternum. The officials perfectly placed unsportsmanlike foul was the call, and he calmly connected, maintaining his perfection from the free throw line. Let's hear from him now. He's tonight's Adidas player of the game.
Your first victory in the EuroLeague. What was the key points for this result?
We didn't give up till the end. I think we fought it till the end. Even when we were 5 points down, I told my guys, keep believing, keep believing. We have a chance, and you know, at the end we did all the right things.
Is the right path for the next game?
Yeah, we have to build on this. We have to build on this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Nemanja Nedovic, tonight's Adidas player of the game, leading all scorers with 20 points. But irrespective of the points that he put on the board, that his team put on the board, he is highlighting the fighting quality that Panathinaikos demonstrated. Let's hear from his head coach now, Dimitris Priftis, his maiden win.
Coach, congratulations for the first victory in the EuroLeague. What was the key point for this result?
Listen, definitely we didn't play the way we want. It's very early, we don't execute correct. We had the spirit though. On that point also the team helped and the fans. And we had one chance and we won this game. We are happy.
Thank you very much.
So Coach Dimitris Priftis with a memorable victory. His first one in the EuroLeague. Panathinaikos still a modest shooting percentage from 3-point territory, but outstanding from 2-point territory from where they were 62%, 10 second chance points, 16 points off turnovers. They forced Fenerbahce into 13 of those. But what that statistic doesn't show is their consistency from the free throw line. 29 out of 27 is an incredible percentage. Let's hear from Daryl Macon Jr.
Daryl, congratulations for the first victory. Congratulations for the first victory in the EuroLeague. How do you feel?
Man, it feels amazing, man. I don't think I've ever experienced an atmosphere like this, man. This is the first time thing for me in my entire life, man. So getting this win, man, we started 0-2 on the season. This feels amazing, man. I think we needed this to boost our confidence and bring us together more. And we're going to try to build on it. We're going to stay humble and keep working and try to build on it.
Do you have dreamed this atmosphere in OAKA? Do you have dreamed this atmosphere?
Do I what?
Do you have dreamed this atmosphere?
Have I
in
dreamed
OAKA?
of this?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I've dreamed of it, but I've never seen. The fans are amazing, man. Like, these probably the best fans I ever seen in my life, man. It's crazy. It was unreal tonight, man. It was crazy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Daryl Macon Jr.
experiencing firsthand the unique atmosphere that is demonstrated at the OAKA. Played his college basketball at Arkansas in the United States of America. Played at AEK Athens last campaign, but he said that he's never experienced anything like this in his life. Let's hear from the losing coach, Sasa Djordjevic.
We controlled the game for 35 minutes. What went wrong in the final?
I have to check it on the video. Some decisions I don't agree absolutely at this level. This is something that is not seen in a EuroLeague for a long time. So I have to check the video to tell you. I'm really happy how we fight, but this is something that I don't agree. Anyway, congratulations to the Panathinaikos.
Thank you very much.
Well, the numbers then from Fenerbahce, their 2-point percentage falling, but still an outstanding 62%. Identical to Panathinaikos in that regard. 40% from downtown. Doing an outstanding job on second chance points and on the break and off turnovers. But those free throws at the end that came in a flurry, Panathinaikos capitalizing and punishing Fenerbahce from 15 feet away. So Daryl Macon Jr. with 13 points for his second successive outing in the EuroLeague. Jan Vesely started to run riot on the boards where he got a double-double of 18 points and 10 boards, but started to get loose in the fourth quarter. Devin Booker fouled out, committed an unsportsmanlike foul on that fifth foul as well, but 14 points and 7 rebounds in the game. But so many key contributions from all over the court, from a whole variety of players tonight. Here's tonight's Adidas player of the game, Nemanja Nedovic, finding a way to put the ball in the hole and points on the board when his three-pointer wasn't necessarily working. Akara White, active to the tune of 9 rebounds and 12 points. Jan Vesely with a game team-high 18 points and 10 rebounds. An incredibly hard-fought affair. Identical in terms of rebounds, very little in it in terms of turnovers. Fenerbahce committing one more, but the free throws, the crucial difference tonight. Panathinaikos got to the free throw line 10 times more and made 14 more free throws than Fenerbahce Beko Istanbul, who were rather profligate at just 65% from the stripe on their 17 attempts. It was 93% for Panathinaikos in their 27 attempts. So road teams holding sway in 2 of the opening 3 fixtures in this first night of action in round 2 of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Defending home court were Panathinaikos, demonstrating terrific fighting spirit. Fenerbahce were their equal in that regard as well, but again, Panathinaikos' efficiency and consistency from the free throw line absolutely crucial in the closing stages. So Panathinaikos secured their first win of the new campaign. They and Fenerbahce identical at 1-1 through 2 completed rounds of play. Panathinaikos just at a -8 in terms of points differential. Fenerbahce have scored as many as they have conceded. So these then the fixtures for next week. Panathinaikos on the road at Baskonia Vitoria Gasteiz. That just about wraps things up from here at the OAKA, and what a fixture it has been. Panathinaikos securing their first win of the season. We'll see you again very soon.
Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with